Good morning. My name is Michael Beal. Welcome to your City of Windsor Veterans Memorial November 11th Remembrance Day Parade. My partner and co-MC, Wayne Hillman, is unable to be with me today. Please keep him, my friend, in your prayers. While I am alone emceeing it, I am not alone. I will tell you about my support in the moments to follow. There will be a series of cannonades today. Be aware, they are loud. We like it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, the foundation of this remembrance ceremony is a release of communal emotion. In this place, we come together as citizens to honor those who served and grieve for our losses. As volunteers, it is our sincere desire that you feel the passion of remembrance and a sense of pride as we celebrate our collective Canadian nationalism. If during the ceremony you show emotion, we are here as a community to support you. If you recall, we added an element to the ceremony a while ago, and we'll do it again this year. We all have a name of someone we remember. Someone who is serving or who has served. I would ask that you say those names again this year. No need to shout, just say the name. It's nice to think, to know, that we will have their presence with us at this ceremony. Let's try it on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Wayne Hillman. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Wayne Hillman. That sounds like a prayer. Please stand for the playing and singing of O Canada. Captain Dyke. Please be seated. For our invocation, Reverend Olaf Kitchen. Sir, Padre.
As we take this moment to pray, I invite each of you to turn your hearts toward the God of your own understanding, or simply to focus your thoughts in a moment of quiet contemplation as others pray. Let us pray. Almighty God, we stand here today in sacred remembrance, to pay tribute, to give thanks to brave men and women, living and dead, who have served in war and in peace. Accept our thanksgiving for their sacrifices and the sacrifices of their families, which have guarded and protected our freedom and peace. May we never take for granted their devotion to freedom and peace. We owe them so much, and today we rededicate ourselves to hold high the torch which has been passed to us in honor of those who have faithfully served and are now at rest. Amen.
Thank you, Padre. With act of remembrance, Colonel Ray Martin. Sir, Colonel.
they shall grow not old, as we that are left are old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, we will remember them.
We'll have 2 minutes of silence. Cannoneer. Reveille. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, together we have just remembered our fallen. The following part of the ceremony represents our communal commitment to the future of remembrance. It begins with The following part of the ceremony represents our communal commitment to the future of remembrance. It begins with our reaffirmation of our citizenship oath. I know our aircraft will be back. Judge Norma Vachon, sir, I'll let you deal with those incoming aircraft. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mike. We will be saying the oath of allegiance to this great country in both official languages. Could everyone please stand? We will say the oath in French first and then in English. Everyone please raise your right hand and repeat after me. Je jure que je serai fidèle et porterai sincère allégeance à Sa Majesté, la Reine Élisabeth II, Reine du Canada, à ses héritiers et successeurs, que j'observerai fidèlement les lois du Canada et que je remplirai loyalement mes obligations de citoyen canadien. Now we were going to say it in English. Please repeat after me. S'il vous plaît, répétez après moi. I swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, Queen of Canada, her heirs and successors, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of Canada and fulfill my duties as a Canadian citizen. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge Vachon. Please be seated. We come to a point in the ceremony that I like very much. This is the children's poppy presentation. We have a number of schools here today, and I'll be listing those names, but I would ask the teachers to please allow those students, those children to come forward now and present their poppies in an alms box here at the front. We have a little gift for them as they come forward. Judge Vachon will be giving you a Canadian flag pin. So please, I would ask that our children please come forward. By the way, the schools are Sacred Heart LaSalle, Principal is Zena Vivier, grade 5 students. Please come forward. St. John Vianney, Principal Leanne Poisson, grade 7 students. Please come forward. H.J. Lassaline, Principal Sue Easby, grade 8 students. L.A. Damaris, Principal Colleen McWilliams, grade 8 students. Immaculate Conception, Principal Anna Mancini, grade 7 students. While our children come forward, please, I'm pleased to introduce Alyssa Postma. This young lady has been waiting 12 months to read her poem to you all. Alyssa? And her mother, Caroline Postma. She may sound familiar to you, a past council member. Over to you.
It takes a superhero. Let me paint a picture. You're there with a gun packed ready to shoot at a nearby enemy that is aiming directly your way. Until, bang, let me paint a picture. You fell in love. Step by step you grew closer, until he said he was going to war. Devastating, yet proud. Then you're left thinking every night about him, the day you met. The way you remember him before he left you. This suddenly slips into a terrifying thought that he might be falling to the ground as I think. I'm stuck thinking about the last time I saw him. I remember the tears on his face. I tried to think about it, but it's difficult because it's unbelievable. However, take a step back. Look at us. The veterans gave it all up, risked it all, for a future like this. They're just superheroes in disguise because there's no way someone like me could do all that. It takes a superhero. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. I'd like to introduce the Bellwood School Choir, elementary school choir. The choir is co-directed by Sylvia Robichaud McDonald and Scott Bastien. These wonderful children deeply affected me when I first heard them sing. They will be singing a piece written by Mr. Bastien specifically for this year's ceremony. We are Canadian. All of their beautiful voices hope you feel the passion of remembrance. Bastien, over you, sir.
That
Wildwood Elementary School Choir. They deserve your applause. We have another piece of music written by a Windsorite, Mr. Charles Horner. And we've arranged for a singer, a professional singer from Nashville. He's traveled up here today for you, and he will be singing Charles Horner's song. The name of the song is called Freedom. The first time I heard this song, it moved me deeply. I think you're going to enjoy this very much. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready? Mr. John Darren Rousey singing Freedom. Sir.
When I see my friend John, we talk about old times. We talk about family and friends and love for our country. How nice it is to live life in peace and lay our heads down in peaceful sleep. So take a little time, spare a little change, show a little love for the women and men. Give a little something for all they gave. This land is ours, and they've kept it safe for all the soldiers whose lives were lost. The price was high, but they paid the cost for freedom. Oh, Canada, remember. We were only 18 when we went off to war, and we believed that peace and freedom were worth fighting for. We served our country with pride and put our lives on the line day and night. So take a little time, spare a little change, and show a little love for the women and men. Give a little something for all they gave. This land is ours, and they kept it safe for all the soldiers whose lives were lost. The price was high, but they paid the cost for freedom, for freedom, for freedom.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Darren Rousey. Mr. Rousey His expenses for traveling up here were covered by a number of generous donations. One of them was the Windsor Veterans Memorial Service, a personal donation from Henry Martinick, and Mike Powis, Motor City Community Credit Union. Thank you very much for helping us out with that. Very kind, very kind. We will begin our wreath laying ceremony now, and our first wreath is a Silver Cross Mother, Mrs. Teresa Charbonneau. Ma'am. Teresa would like to say a few words. Ma'am.
Good morning. Before I begin what I wrote, let me tell you, I grieve. I will grieve the rest of my life. But you have no idea the healing that this ceremony does for me. The people that are here, the veterans that are here, the way it is organized, it brings so much healing. Thank you. Remembrance Day is, of course, about remembering. We are called to remember those who fought to give us what we have today. But taking it one step further, it is about memories. Our veterans have a myriad of memories, some good and some not good. Whether they served in one of the world wars, Korea, Vietnam, Croatia, Bosnia, or Afghanistan, I'm sure that each of them can remember the places they saw, the friends they made, and the victories they were part of. But as well, they can also remember the destruction, the catastrophic suffering, and the loss of life. These elements are part of any war, and these memories are difficult to live with. This may be the reason that most veterans say very little about their wartime experience. I can't even begin to comprehend what a veteran puts himself through trying to remember the good while desperately trying to forget the bad. So if you are related to a veteran, casually know one, or just happen to meet one, please go out of your way to say thank you and remember what they've done for you and for our country, Canada. Thank you.
Captain Dykeman. The City of Windsor, His Worship, Mayor Drew Dilkins. On behalf of the Essex and Kent Scottish, Honorary Colonel Phil Berthium, Colonel Ray Martin, Lieutenant Colonel Hardy Wheeler. Windsor Regiment, Honorary Colonel Peter Thomas, RSM, Rock Cadet. RCAF, George McMahon. RCMP, Inspector Kevin Keene. Windsor Police Service, Chief Frederick, Deputy Chief Power, Deputy Chief Darris. Windsor Fire and Rescue Services, Chief Montone, Deputy Chiefs Stephen Lafayette and Andrew Dijon. Windsor Professional Firefighters Association, Dwayne Janice. Henry Martinick, War Pensioners. Bernard Cote, Korean War Veterans. War Ants, Tom Friesen. Canada Border Services Agency, Tamara Blasmir. Michael A. Powis, VP Commercial Operations, Water City Community Credit Union. The Alzheimer's Society, Board Chair Helen Bielis and CEO Sally Bennett Olzak. Southwest Detention Center, Jason Unger. Robert Papik, 1st Cavalry, Barrier Ridge Motorcycle Unit. Along with Robert Papik, we have Ralph Mayville, 1st Special Service Force, Devil's Brigade. Sir.
You need a monopod on that.
Windsor Historical Society, Larry Costello. Not to worry, Larry, stand down, sir. You paid your duty. You've done your duty. Larry wants to salute. Larry is my mentor here. Sir, American Star Lodge number 4, 3 accepted Masons, Prince Hall, Everett S.P. Mulder, C.D., and Owen Kane, Clayton Talbert, Sr. Cupid, Local 543, Mark Vandervoort, President. Local 200, Chris Taylor and Dan Cassidy. Local 444, Dino Chiodo, Dave Cassidy. Local 1973, Tony Sisti and Joanne Chaplin. Local 2027, John Moreau and Gabby Gazli. If I beg your pardon, Gabby. Local 2458, Rusticki, Tullio DePonte. CUPE, Local 82, Natalie Popovich. All others who have a wreath, please come forward now. HMCS Hunter. Captain Dyckman. Thank you, Captain Dyckman. His Worship, ladies and gentlemen, the City of Windsor, Mayor Drew Dilkins. Sir.
Well, thank you, Michael. I'm honored to be here today on behalf of the City of Windsor, joined by several of my council colleagues, also joined by my friends from the federal government, Brian Massey and Cheryl Hardcastle, and my friend from the provincial government, MPP for Windsor-Tecumseh, Percy Hatfield. Today, the 11th day of the 11th month, at the 11th hour, like cities across this great nation, we gather to honor those who served our country and to remember the sacrifices they made to defend our freedom, our rights, and our democracy. It was in 1919, almost a century ago, that Canadians gathered together for our country's first Remembrance Day ceremony. And each year since, we have taken the time to remember the thousands of men and women who served their country and continue to serve today at home and abroad. Remembrance Day also allows us to honor the families of our veterans, those who were left behind at home while their loved ones served abroad, and all of the Canadians who supported those men and women of the armed forces with letters and packages from home. Your service is also remembered and appreciated. We will never be able to pay the debt we owe to all of those in our military, whether they served in combat or on peacekeeping missions around the world. But we can stand here today as we celebrate our freedom in this, the best country in the world, to say two simple words: thank you. To those who are with us here today and those who never return, thank you. And to those young people who are prepared to stand tall for their country in years to come, we say thank you. In the words of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. You have our solemn promise that we will never take for granted the sacrifices you have made in the name of peace and freedom, and we will honor your memory not only today, but every day. We will always remember. We will remember.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would call upon Reverend Olaf Kitchen for benediction. Padre.
As you are able, I would invite you to stand. Let us go from here to build a better world. Let us go from here remembering and never forgetting. And as you go, may the peace and blessing of the Almighty go with you. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Padre. Please remain standing for the playing and singing of God Save the Queen.
Stand by at the end of this song. There will be a loud
Report. Captain Dykeman. We're up and running again. Well done. Thank you, sir. Please be seated. I mentioned in my opening remarks how I am not alone, despite missing my co-MC, Wayne Hillman. You and your lovely wife have been standing by my side throughout the ceremony. I want to thank Michael Kohutch for his assistance today. Michael, thank you. Thanks to the Windsor Essex County Catholic School Board for bringing our children to the ceremony, allowing them, indeed, they deserve that round of applause. I want to thank the City of Windsor and the City of Windsor volunteers for the sound system. Great job again this year. Bob Pappett for our very loud cannonade. Well done, Bob. Boom, boom, Pappett. Well done. My thanks to CUPE Local 543 Mike Vandervoort and my friend Dave Petton. This amazing local called me and asked to donate to offset our volunteer expenses. A sincere thank you to you. They deserve it. The Windsor Regiment Band, under the direction of Captain Beth Dykeman, courtesy of the commanding officer of the Windsor Regiment. Windsor Police Services, they worked very hard to keep us safe. My thanks to my point of contact, Sergeant Ann Hall. And thanks to all of you who attended. For many of you, November 11th is no longer a holiday. To paraphrase President John F. Kennedy, we do this not because it is easy, because it is sometimes hard. You all make me proud. I thank you for making the time to honor all who served, especially our fallen. I hope to see you all again next year on November 11th. March out the colors.
Ready? March to the side turn. That turn is called a 2. Quick, march.
You need to find a hole. Make a hole for these gentlemen. Well done. Thank you, gentlemen. Make a hole. This closing piece of music for your listening pleasure and to sing is We'll Meet Again. Michael, we are completed. We're done. Thank you.